this broadcast of high school boys varsity basketball. We are at Russia Local School, where the Houston Wildcats will take on the Russia Raiders. Tonight's game is being brought to you by these fine sponsors: Brown Equipment Corporation, First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Winners Meats, Sydney Ogle's Audiology, Precision Strip, Wagner's IGA, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Good evening, I'm Craig Fissinger with my broadcast partner tonight, Tim Kearns. We're about 9 minutes from tip-off in the varsity contest as we just wrapped up the junior varsity game, and that one, Russia topped Houston by the final score of 50-19. Leading the way for the Raiders was 6'1" freshman Braylon Cadonier with 13 points, and actually his classmate Vince Borchers, a 5'9" freshman, got him by 1 point. He had 14 himself. For the Wildcats, they were led by 6'4" freshman Jeff List with 5 points, all of those being scored in the first quarter. Now let's preview the main event, and we'll start with the home team from Russia. For that, I'll turn it over to my broadcast partner, Tim Kearns. And TK, welcome, our first partner game of the year so far.
Yeah, it's great to be going here. Started things off with some girls basketball earlier this week, and a lot of fun. Ready to go for the whole season here.
All right, well, let's run down this Russia roster and let our NKTelco viewers know what the Raiders lineup looks like coming into this game.
Of course, the Raiders led by head coach Dave Borchers. The senior members of the squad are number 11, Patrick Bowman, number 23, Jordan Meyer, and number 32, Sam York. A large number of juniors on the squad. Number 2, Zane Chappie. Number 4, Ross Fissinger. Number 30, Matthew Caldwell. Number 34, Xavier Flippo. Number 41, Michael Bell. 42, Ben Bowman. And number 50, Colby Monin. From the sophomore class, there's number 5, Jude Counts. Number 12, Hayden Pointer. Number 13, Braden Monin. And to round things off, we've got one freshman on the squad. That's number 24, Braylon Cadonier. This varsity squad has 6 key players returning from last year who saw a bulk of the playing time, losing a few to graduation last year, and none of those players from last year's graduation were starters, so a very experienced squad for the Raiders as well. If you look at the height of this squad, it's going to be something for some teams to contend with. Only 3 of those names I called off are less than 6 feet tall, Craig, so a sizable squad for the Raiders. There's no one higher than 6'3" in height. All across the board, a very tall team. Something's going to cause some matchups problems throughout the season for Raider opponents, I think.
Well, Russia opened the season just a week ago last Friday. That was a game on the road taking on their SCAL arch rival, the Fort Laramie Redskins. And I'll recap that contest for our viewers. Was able to be there and call that game. Russia outscored Fort Laramie 10-6 in both the first quarter and second quarter for a 20-12 halftime lead. Coming out of the locker room in the third quarter, that was the big key, though, for Russia, because they scored another 10 points, and the Redskins didn't get a field goal until it was a two-pointer with like 2.5 seconds to go in that quarter. Russia was then able to coast in the fourth, and they won by the final of 36-22. TK, as expected for a season opener, it was low scoring, and it was definitely a little sloppy.
Yeah, sloppy, and probably when you put Russia and Fort Laramie on the court, it's going to be physical. It always is, and it's difficult to play air free ball in that type of game. So you kind of expect that, especially early in the season. I was impressed how in the third quarter the Raiders came out with their defense and really set the tempo of the game. Didn't miss a beat and set the tone. One factor that you have to look at for the Raiders, a non-factor in the game, Craig, was the Raiders only shot 29% from the free throw. Maybe part of it being obviously early in the season, another part being a very physical game, but something they'll have to take care of in practice and bring back on the court, because 29% is going to lose you some games when you get into the bulk of the season.
I got a chance to talk to Coach Borchers a little bit before the game. We talked about that Fort Laramie contest last Friday. He was very happy with how the Raiders shared the ball, said they did a good job of that, and he thought that was the big thing he took from that game as far as their success. Wasn't real happy with how Russia performed on the defensive boards. Thought Laramie got a lot of rebounds. Only scored 22 points, but thought they still got beat on their defensive boards pretty hard, and that's something I know wants to improve here tonight. Let's talk about the visitors now from Houston. Coming into the season, this is the Wildcats team that graduated their very best player from last year. That was Wyatt Kunk, who was an All-SCAL honoree for the season ended. TK, let's run to the Houston roster and let our viewers know what their lineup looks like coming into this game.
All right, they are, of course, led by Coach Mark Platfoot. The members of the varsity squad is senior Jake Least, senior Jake Least, number 2, senior Ryan Ely, number 3, senior Luke Ryan, and number 10, senior Elijah Beaver, and then finally from the senior, 2 more seniors, number 11, Dylan Davis, and finally number 23, Xavier Ballencipher, receiver. Rounds out their senior squad. The juniors are number 4, Hayden Mowry, number 5, Luke Beaver, number 20, Parker Herrick, and then for the sophomores, there is 1 sophomore on the team, number 33, Rusty Rondahuber. Again, same as the Raiders, they bring back 6 players who got a bulk of the playing time last year, a little bit more experience in being seniors. However, opposite of the Raiders, this Houston Wildcats squad only has 3 players over 6 feet tall, so they are small, but they're a quick, guard-oriented team, which could cause some matchup problems for taller teams like the Raiders and some other teams down the line. So we'll have to see how that athleticism matches up and how that works for the Wildcats.
Well, Houston opened their season just like Rouge a week ago last Friday, taking on a league opponent. For the Wildcats, it was battling the Fairlawn Jets. And of the 3 SCAL matchups last Friday, Houston versus Fairlawn was the closest of them all. In the end, Houston fell to Fairlawn 47-44. Leading the way for the Wildcats was number 3, senior Luke Ryan, with 13 points. And TK, they were up late in that one by 5 points. Took some bad shots. Talked to Coach Platfoot a little bit before the game. He said they just needed to learn from that and get better. And TK, this is the Houston program that last year finished 0-12 in the league, 1-21 overall with a home win versus Mississinawa Valley. But as we know, last year means nothing. And that close contest against Fairlawn last Friday makes me wonder if this Wildcats team might surprise some opponents if they try to look past them.
I think they will. Like you said, there was some late turnovers, some problems with a little more experience within the season is going to help that squad. They're going to be, as we said, a short, fast team, a lot of athleticism, and a hard matchup. People are going to look past them, maybe get into a running game. And this Houston Wildcat team, I think, probably can run with some people and force some things to happen on the offense.
In case you were wondering what happened between these 2 teams in last year's series, in the first matchup, almost exactly 1 year ago, Rouge won in a rout, 66-34. Leading the way for the Raiders, it was Zane Shappy with 13 points, and for the Wildcats, it was both Jake List and Wyatt Kunk with 10. And in the second matchup in January, it was much closer. In fact, at the end of the third quarter, Rouge led by just 1 point, 35-34, but the Raiders outscored the Wildcats 15-6 in the fourth and won by the final of 50-40. Rouge's top scorer was Ben Bowman with 10, and Houston's Wyatt Kunk matched Ben with 10 of his own. So we're about 1:30 here away from getting started in this game. I do want to say before we get going here that it's nice to hear a pep band again, TK. Didn't get to hear that so much last year. I think maybe just on 1 or 2 occasions, but nice to see these gyms fill back up again, hearing that pep band and the cheerleaders and everything that goes with Friday night basketball.
Yeah, it's a lot better mood for playing a basketball game. As you said, the student fans are here in full force. They were really into the JV game, doing a lot of cheering there. So great to see and great to be part of this again.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break, pause for tonight's national anthem. We'll come back with our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game, as well as our starting lineup, sponsored by Sydney Auglaze Audiology. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? NKTelco Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. NKTelco is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at NKTelco Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with NKTelco.
Now it's time for our Keyhole Pizza Keys to the Game. TK, let's start with Houston. And what do the Wildcats need to do against Russia to get the victory tonight?
Craig, a couple things, three things here that I think is key. One is the need to be patient and try to keep it a low-scoring game. They don't want to get into a running battle with the Raiders. The Raiders bench is probably a little bit too deep for that for the Houston Wildcats. They need to limit Russia on the boards, or on the offensive side. One shot only, need to be strong on those boards, and they need to limit the number of turnovers. As you mentioned before, that was a key point in their loss to Fairlawn in their opening game. So those are the keys to the game for the Houston Wildcats.
All right, how about the Raiders? What are the Keyhole Pizza keys of the game for Coach Dave Borch's squad?
As we spoke before, their keys are control the guards, the Houston guards, obviously short, fast, very athletic group. And amongst those, the main person they want to keep in control of is Jake Lease. And then they need to share the ball on offense and make sure the whole team is involved in that offense, in-out play, use the big men underneath to open up things, and that's the keys to the game for the Russia Raiders.
All right, now it's time for our starting lineup, sponsored by Sydney Ballglaze Audiology. TK, what do we have for starting lineups?
For the Houston Wildcats, they start number 0, Jake Lease, number 2, Ryan Ely, number 3, Luke Ryan, number 5, Luke Beaver, and number 20, Parker Herrick.
And for the Russia Raiders?
The Russia Raiders are starting number 2, Zane Shappy, number 12, Hayden Quinter, number 13, Braden Monin, number 34, Xavier Flippo, and number 42, Ben Bowman.
All right, again, those were the starting lineups sponsored by Sydney Ballglaze Audiology. We'd also like to remind our viewers that tonight's scoreboard is sponsored by First National Bank. All replays are courtesy of Winners Meats, and our timeouts are coming to you from Precision Strip. Houston Wildcats out on the floor in their red away uniforms, and of course Russia with the home whites. Russia moving from right to left as we watch it. Houston from left to right. Jumping at center circle will be sophomore Hayden Quinter. And for the Houston Wildcats, it will be senior Jake List. This Houston squad, 6 seniors, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. For Russia, 3 seniors, 6 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 1 freshman. Houston does control the tip, and getting things started for them will be Ryan Ely, the 5'10 senior, being guarded by Xavier Flippo. Gets it off the List. List going to drive against Bowman, backs it up, gets it out to Parker Herrick. Looking down low, and Houston rotating the ball while Russia plays a man defense, and Luke Beaver's shot is too hard up off the glass. Rebound Russia quickly up to 4. These Raiders like to run. Talked to Coach Platford before the game. He wanted to slow the tempo down as Xavier Flippo gets the first bucket of the ball game. A little jumper in the lane for Flippo. He had 10 in that Fort Laramie win. Tied for game honors with Ben Bowman, who also had 10. Drive down the lane. The Wildcats is going to be a tie-up on the floor as Hayden Quinter and Luke Ryan both tied up with that ball. Luke Ryan, the leading scorer in that Fairlawn game for the Houston Wildcats, had 13 points. A couple other Wildcats that scored in that game were Jake List and Luke Beaver, both with 7. Ryan Ely had 6 in that game, and Xavier Balanceifer had 2. Zane Shappy gets it down the right block. He puts it up off the glass. Excuse me, that was Shappy. Shappy with a bucket.
They're just putting on some full court pressure, which I expected. Just light pressure enough to slow things down.
Get a whistle. Foul lot of offensive variety going against the Houston Wildcats. Varsity leading here 4-0 at the 6:45 mark in the first quarter. A couple other games going on around the area for our Shelby County Athletic League fans. Fort Larney and Jackson Center about to get underway, as well as Botkins and Anna. Brady Monin with the ball, gets it down in the corner to Shappy. Drives baseline, gets it to Quinter. Quinter shot off the rim, no good. Flippo with a rebound, gets in a little trouble, and he's going to get fouled. That looks like it's going to go on Luke Beaver. Let's see who that is called on. Indeed, it is Beaver, and a shooting foul, so Xavier Flippo heading to the free throw line. Xavier Flippo had 6 points in the first quarter last Friday against Fort Laramie. 6 of the Raiders, 10 points. Getting off to a good start here tonight. Very good free throw shooter Flippo is. That first one's nothing but net. And substitution for the Wildcats coming in will be 6'1" sophomore Rusty Vondenheuvel, who's also on the junior varsity roster, as Luke Beaver will head to the bench after picking up that foul that sent Flippo to the line. Flippo's second one's on the way, and that one rattles out of the rim, no good. So Flippo only able to get 1 of 2. He has 3 points. And Russia now up 5-0. Shot from Parker Herrick. That's going to roll off the front of the rim, back rim, no good. Rebound Flippo. Flippo's going to take it down the floor, tosses it down low to Quinter. Quinter in the lane, kicks it out to Braden Mon. Sophomore's going to take the shot, front of the rim, no good. Nice rebound by List from the Wildcats. Quickly up the floor is Ryan. Gets it back out to List beyond the three-point arc. Over to Herrick. Herrick's going to drive against Shappy. Shappy tried to pick up from back. He did get a little bit of that ball, and it's a turnover on the Wildcats. Braden Mon shot up off the glass is good. Third Raider to get in the scorebook, and Coach Mark Plattfoot wants to take a quick timeout. We'll take a timeout with him. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it. And online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
So our first precision strip timeout of the game taken by the Houston Wildcats as they are down early here, 7-0. We're able to get 3 different players in the scorebook. Xavier Flippo with 3, Braden Monin with 2, and Zane Shappy with 2. And at the 5:42 mark, Wildcats, Vondenheuvel takes a shot. That's no good. Rebound Hayden Quinter. Quinter gets it up court to Braden Monin. He's going to drive left baseline this time. That's swatted by Jake List. Nice block there by the 6'2 senior.
Well, fast play going on here. Raiders trying to push things as I thought they would with a deeper bench. So far, Wildcats are keeping up on defense, but unable to score.
Now in the ball game for the Raiders, Jordan Meyer. Meyer, a 6'2 senior for the Raiders. On the bench is Ben Bowman, the sophomore, or excuse me, the junior, as Xavier Flippo gets another bucket. Xavier Flippo having another one of those big first quarters. Like I said, in that Larney game, he had 6. He now has 5 here tonight, leading all scores, and another turnover by the Wildcats. Talked to Coach Mark Plattfoot before the game. He really wanted to limit those turnovers tonight. Having so much luck here in this first quarter. Shappy's shot is no good. Quinter with a baseline jumper, and that's good. Hayden Quinter now the 4th Raider to score. He's got 2. More importantly, Russia up 11-0. Really gets it out to Ryan. Ryan's going to drive into the lane, puts a shot up over Meyer, and finally the Houston Wildcats get on the board with a jumper in the lane by Luke Ryan. Sometimes it just takes one TK, and maybe the Wildcats can get things going here.
I think they'll settle down here as Quinter puts in a nice move there, backed in against the smaller man, and just a nice turnaround jumper.
Yeah, quick answer there. Hayden Quinter with just 4 points in that Fort Laramie game last Friday. Asked Coach Borchers if he was concerned about that at all. He said not at all. He goes, we got plenty of guys that can score. As Herrick takes a long three, that's no good. And Meyer with it now in the corner. Being guarded down low there by Vondenheuvel. Another nice pass by Jordan Meyer to Xavier Flippo, the recipient of that easy bucket. Flippo now with 7 in the quarter. Russia up 15-2.
The Raiders doing a lot of the passing that Coach Dave Borchers was asking for when he said your team needs to share the ball and they'll do much better. And they're showing that right now.
Ryan with a shot fake against Meyer, gets in the lane, puts the ball up. That's no good. Rebound, Xavier Flippo. Flippo doing it on both ends of the court here tonight. And a nice steal there by Ryan Ely against Hayden Quinter. Ely's going to drive all the way, go up against Flippo. That shot no good. And this time the Raiders got it. Hustling up the floor, Zane Schapp. He's going to kick it in the corner to Monin. He's going to take a three. And Braden Monin hits a big three-pointer for the Raiders. That's another timeout by Coach Mark Flatfoot. We'll take another precision strip timeout with him. Russia leading Houston 18-2.
Allglaze and Sydney Audiology are committed to providing the most advanced and affordable hearing care solutions.
Did you know that more and more insurances are offering coverage for hearing aids and that we are the most comprehensive provider in the area?
Because we want to serve all in our community, we partner with agencies such as Medicaid, OOD, Sertoma, and most recently the VA, helping our veterans find local solutions to their problems.
Don't leave unused benefits on the table this year. Call us today to see if you qualify.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Crown Equipment Corporation.
Grand Lake Health.
So a couple more substitutions for the Russia Raiders now in the ball game. Patrick Bowman, a senior, and Ross Fissinger, a junior. On the bench, Hayden Quinter and Braden Monin getting a little rest after that offensive output. Shot by Jake List is no good. Rebound knocked around. Ben Bowman knocked down on the floor. And with a whistle and a Houston foul on that one. That one looks like it's going to go on Xavier Balanciefer. Russia going to take the ball out of bounds underneath the Houston bucket. The length of the court to go, up 18-2 on the First National Bank scoreboard with 3 minutes to go and still in this first quarter. Patrick Bowman driving the lane, kicks it out to Fissinger. He's going to take a three. That one's long off the iron, long rebound. Bowman tries to save it, gets it in, but the Houston Wildcats retrieve it. Parker Herrick now driving to the free throw line, kicks it out, and almost a steal there by Bowman, though. He's going to get whistled for the foul. TK, Patrick Bowman, a guy that's a senior and in early for the Raiders, but a guy that hasn't played since junior high, his first year.
Yeah, he's quite the athlete, though. I know he came in late and played some baseball and played very well for the Raiders on the diamond, and he's also quite the bowler, so he's a three-sport kid.
Went to the state tournament last year in bowling. He's going to try to split his time handling both rocks here this winter, as Jake List going to take a three for the Wildcats. He connects, so Jake List with a nice three-pointer for the Houston Wildcats to stop that bleeding a little bit. Now down 13 as that shot up by Shappy. Three is no good. One thing the Raiders don't want to get caught up, you get a big lead like this, sometimes you get a little sloppy, taking some shots maybe that your coach doesn't want you to take.
Yeah, want to keep working out offense if you're a Raider fan. You like to see the way they were doing that before, not taking those quick shots.
Vondenheuvel shot's no good, but List with a rebound over Bowman. Nice job there by Jake List. He's got hot all of a sudden. Hits the three-pointer. Now gets a two-point variety against Ben Bowman. And just what the Houston Wildcats needed. Fissinger's going to take a three from the other corner. That's off the rim. No good. Rebound, Parker Herrick. Wildcats mounting a little bit of a comeback here. Knocked down just 11. Down low. Balanciefer, nice pass. And that shot's no good. Bowman knocks it around. Balanciefer's going to pick it up, though. He's going to think about the three. Fissinger stops that, gets it in the corner. List's going to take another three. Can he connect again? He does it, but we get a whistle away from the ball.
There's a shove underneath on Houston. Good box out underneath there by Jordan Meyer. I can't see who it was called on. Got pushed in the back. He was 33 going. Vondenheuvel pushed him on that rebound.
Couple substitutions. Coach Dave Borchers as Jordan Meyer and Zane Chappie go to the bench. Back on the floor, Hayden Quinter. Entering for the first time will be Sam York. So Quinter's going to bring it up. He's being guarded by Luke Ryan. Houston dropping back in a little bit of a zone look here, TK.
Yeah, I was expecting to do this more often with the size of the Raiders to try and close things down a little bit.
And Flippo's going to take a three. That rattles around. No good. Nice rebound by Fissinger, and he gets a stick back. So Ross Fissinger gets his first points of the season. Becomes the fifth different Raider to score here in this first quarter. Just a minute to go. Russia back up 13 points, 20-7.
Ross Fissinger taking advantage of a nice spot there. Saw the opening in the lane, stepped in there, picked up the rebound, and just put it right back in. Some heads-up play there.
Luke Beaver goes up for that layup. He gets fouled in the process, so he's going to go to the free throw line. And that foul, I missed who that one was on, TK. I don't know if that was on Patrick Bowman, perhaps. He's now got 2 on the board, so first shot from Luke Beaver is good. Luke Beaver with his first points of the game. Parker Herrick into the ball game as Jake Liss is going to head to the bench.
I called that on Hayden Quinter. He's pulling to the big board.
And Beaver's next shot is on the way, and that's good. Nice couple free throws there by Luke Beaver. And nice for the Wildcats to cut this to single digits if they can before this quarter expires. Braden Monin in the corner for the Raiders gets it over to Sam York. Sam York, a physical player. And Flipper with it now, gets it on top to Fissinger. Raiders rotate it. Monin's going to take a three. Braden Monin connects again for Braden Monin. He now has 8 in the quarter, 2 long threes and a 2. So the Raiders really putting on a display here tonight. 23-9 here in this first quarter. And shot up from Ely is no good. Rebound Monin getting the board, and with 24 seconds, he's going to bring it up the floor. Gets it to Quinter. As the Raiders look to Coach Dave Borchers for some instructions here this final 14 seconds. Fissinger now with it being guarded by Ryan. Picks up his dribble, gets to Quinter with 8 seconds. He's going to go against Herrick. And Quinter almost loses his dribble. Gets in the lane. Nice pass underneath, but York too hard off the board, and Valencefer will corral the rebound, and that will do it for our first quarter. Raiders up over Houston, 23-9. We'll take a short break and come back. We're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Russia leading Houston 23-9 on our First National Bank scoreboard. For the Raiders in that first quarter, they were led by Braden Monin with 8 points. It was 7 points for Xavier Flippo, 4 for Hayden Quinter, 2 for Zane Chappie, 2 for Ross Fissinger. For the Houston Wildcats being led with 5 points from Jake List. It was 2 for Luke Ryan and a couple free throws for Luke Beaver. Getting things started here in the second quarter will be the Wildcats, as Parker Herrick now in control at the point. Gets it over to Jake List. Xavier Valencefer with it now being guarded by Flippo. Applies a little pressure. Valencefer steps up, takes a shot. Front of the rim, no good. Nice rebound by Braden Monin. He hustles up the floor quickly for the Raiders. Gets to Flippo. Thinks about a three. Kicks it out to Hayden Quinter. Quinter's three's on the way off the back of the rim. Rebound Raiders. Zane Chappie with a wide open look, and he makes that bucket look easy. Chappie now with his second field goal of the game. He now has 4. TK, I think the Wildcats have to slow down these Russia Raiders. As Balanceifer gets a nice bucket for his first points of the game.
Yeah, they can't run with the Raiders like they're trying to do right now. The Raiders are continuing to get second chance shots. Almost one there by Xavier Flippo, but got the ball stolen away from him.
Yeah, quite the opposite of what Coach Mark Plattfoot told us before the game as far as wanting to slow this pace down a little bit. And Raiders able to run. And sometimes it's easier said than done, slowing things down. But when things, the fast break gets going, trying to score in transition, it just, as I said, it's easier to say than do. Zane Shabby gets fouled on his shot from the elbow by Parker Herrick. So Zane Shabby going to go to the free throw line for a couple free throws. We want to remind our viewers to follow WCSM AM 1350, 96.7 FM, and their internet exclusive games on WCSMradio.com. All season, your sports leader in Mercer and All Glades counties. Xavier Flippo able to hit the first of his two attempts. Zane Shabby. And substitutions for both sides. Balanceifer head to the bench. Back in the game will be Luke Ryan for the Russia Raiders. Sam York and Hayden Quinn are now on the bench. Coming into the ball game for the Raiders are on the floor right now. Jordan Meyer, Braden Mon, and Ben Bowman, Xavier Flippo, and Zane Shabby as he hits the second one. Zane Shabby now with 6 points. Shabby working, gets a nice steal there off Ryan Ely. And Flippo with it. Coach Mark Plattfoot wants to see a little help from the officials. Too much contact, I think.
A little close to a elbow in the jaw there. I remember a couple of years ago they've changed that rule. You come around holding the ball with an elbow out, it's a penalty, but not called.
The Wildcats will inbound it in the corner. Ryan with it. Ryan bringing it up the floor. A little pressure from Braden Mon. Parker Herrick. And I like to see these Raiders applying this pressure, even up by 15 points. Nice pass down low. Ryan Ely able to put that ball in the bucket. And nice bit of work there by the Houston Wildcats.
A nice backdoor break there. And a nice, as you said, nice pass over the defense for this right there.
House is just trying to hang in there, TK, I think, hoping for the Raiders perhaps to go cold from the field. And right back in this ball game. On top of it now, Shabby. Shabby looks to coach for some instructions as Parker Herrick trying to get the steal. And a nice pass down low. Bowman not able to finish that one. And Luke Ryan with a rebound for the Wildcats. Like I said, Russia gets cold. Next thing you know, Houston's back in this ball game as Parker Herrick takes a long three. And Parker Herrick puts one down, his first bucket of the game. That gets the Wildcats down to within 11. Trying to cut this to single digits. Shabby thinks about a three, drives, kicks it out to Braden Mon. Mon's going to hit another three. Braden Mon now with 3 threes in this first half. He's got 11 for the game, leads all scores, and that's how you answer a little bit of a cold spell. A long three.
That'll make Houston work a little bit harder, and they'll continue to do it. And there's a nice shot there. An answer from Parker Herrick.
Parker Herrick, he does enough that Coach Borchers wants to call a timeout. We'll stay right here, and we want to remind our viewers that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503 on Wednesday, December 8th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 11th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And we'd also like to thank tonight's 5-star recruitment sponsor, that is Crown Equipment Corporation. Our MVP sponsors are Clopay and Nedick Minster. And tonight's Russia game sponsor is the Jewelry Barn. You also want to stick around for our halftime report. We give you all the stats from the first half. That's all being sponsored by Wagner's IGA. We'll talk about what the Raiders did, what the Houston Wildcats did, and we'll recap what's going on in the area here tonight in basketball.
Yeah, Craig, looking at the stats from the first quarter, the second quarter for the Wildcats so far, they were 3 for 16 in the first quarter. They are now 4 for 6 in the second quarter. taking a little bit better shots, hit that three-pointer to widen things up, and hitting those 10-foot buckets instead of going all the way in against the Raider defense, and it's working out much better for them, as you said. Now 18-30, chipping away at that lead.
Wildcats actually outscoring the Raiders here in the second quarter so far, 9-7. So Bushy getting control out of the timeout. Zane Shappy with it for the Raiders. During that timeout, Braden Mona now on the bench. Fissinger in for the Raiders. He's going to drive, get it back out to Bowman. Over to Shappy. Shappy thinks about a three. Gets the free throw line, trying to get down in the lane. Now kicks it out to Fissinger. He's going to take a three. Ball rattles around, no good. Bowman with a nice rebound, and Ben Bowman able to put that ball back up. So now tying Houston for 9 points in the second quarter. Raiders up 32-18 at the 4-minute mark. And getting fouled underneath the basket will be Luke Ryan. Luke so far with just 2 points in this ball game. He had 13 in that Fairlawn game last Friday. A game they just lost by a couple points after being up late. And Coach Mark Plattford told us before the game that Luke Ryan been a starter off and on for these Wildcats, and now a senior as he hits the first free throw. Just a 5'9" senior at that. A very undersized Houston team. 4 guys on this roster at 5'9" that get a lot of playing time.
As we said, seems to be a problem until this second quarter when they're going inside out and doing much better with that size.
And second shot rattles out, no good. Bushy now on the floor with Zane Shappy, Ben Bowman, Patrick Bowman in the ballgame, Hayden Quinter, and Ross Fissinger. Bowman with it now, gets it down low to Ben Bowman. A couple Bowmans. Shappy's going to take a long three, and that's no good, off the rim. Rebound Wildcats. Ryan gets it down low to Vondenhuber. Nice fat pass down low to List. Nice block there by Ben Bowman. Thought Jake List was going to have an easy layup, TK. Wildcats can get it back. List is trying to reverse. Jake List showing some athleticism. It's the nice reverse layup. He's got 7 in the ball game. Wildcats down 11 again. And Shappy heads to the basket. He's going to get fouled in the process. Should be the shooting foul. It's going to go on Jake List. That'll be his first foul.
Ben Bowen down there on offense, or rather defense. Nice rebound, and his teammates took off, left him without any help, and he was double teamed. And that doesn't work out too well sometimes.
Zane Shappy's first free throw is on the way, and he nails that one. So Zane Shappy having a good second quarter with 5 points. Substitution for the Raiders. Now coming in is I thought we had a substitute. Yes, we do. Jude Counts now in the ball game for the first time. He's going to replace Zane Shappy. Saw Jude a little bit in that junior varsity game. Coach Borchers playing him in both the JV and the varsity. And if you missed it from earlier, our JV game that went to Rushi by the score of 50-19. Shot up low from List is no good. Rebound Hayden Quinter. 3 minutes to go until halftime. Rushi leading 34-21. Fissinger with it now, working against Ryan. Picks up his dribble, trying to find Quinter underneath. Gets it on top to Patrick Bowman. Patrick Bowman working against Parker Herrick. Gets it over to Jude Counts, who just entered the ball game. Quinter at the center circle, setting up the offense once again. Fissinger with it now. He gets it down, trying to get down low to Bowman, but not able to get it there. Jake List knocks that ball out of bounds.
Some nice defense there from List. The undersized and all the way around undersized player against Ben Bowman, but doing a good job keeping the run out there and knocking the ball away.
Yeah, when you look at the size of the Raiders out there with Quinter and Bowman, you think that they would have a clear advantage, but that ball is almost turned over by the Raiders. Instead, they're going to keep possession of it as Luke Ryan almost got a steal on that one, knocked it out of bounds in the process. There's our old cameraman sitting there at center court, TK. Aaron Monin did a little camera work for us last year sitting there at the half court. Good to see him at the ball game.
Miscommunication by the Raiders. Getting a little sloppy right now.
Some bad passing right now by the Rushi Raiders. Bowman stuck in the corner trying to get it to Fissinger, and Counts trying to pick it up. Rushi does get it. Coach Borchers got to be a little unhappy about the sloppiness here as we get set to end this first half of ball. Bowman with it now, working against Herrick. Gets a screen from Quinter in the lane, gets it up. Ben Bowman's going to take the three, and that's long. And fishing with a recipient of an easy bucket down low for him. That's 4. Raiders now up 36-21. Well, he's got as sloppy as it could down there, TK, and the Raiders got a bucket out of it. You know things are going your way when that happens. And almost an easy bucket down low for Luke Beaver, but not able to get it to go down. A whistle and a foul.
There's on least.
Nick List with a foul on that one. That's going to be his second. We'll see if Coach Mark Platford wants to get him out. And I think he will, as Xavier Balancy for getting ready to check in at the scores table. The Raiders, they had a couple substitutions now on the floor for them. Braden Mon and Hayden Quinter. Sam York now in the ballgame with Duke Counts and Patrick Bowman. On the floor for the Houston Wildcats, you have Luke Beaver, Jake List, Xavier Balancy for now coming in for List, along with Luke Ryan, Ryan Ely, and Parker Herrick. So when this all gets sorted out, Ben Bowman's going to head to the free throw line. Just a minute 40 to play here in the first half. Raiders with a 15-point lead, trying to expand that, and they will as Bowman hits the first of his 1-and-1 attempt. Ben Bowman with 3 points in this first half, all here in the second quarter. Bowman had just 2 in that Wyoming game last Friday, then exploded in the second half with 8 points. Bowman misses the second one, ball knocked around. Luke Beaver comes up with it. Raiders up 16, 37-21. Parker Herrick's going to take a 3. He hit one of those earlier, this one short. Ball knocked around. Luke Ryan picks it up. He's going to drive the bucket. Nice Euro step around Bowman. He's going to get fouled and head to the free throw line for a couple. One thing Coach Borchers was worried about with these Houston Wildcats, he told us in the pregame, was their quickness. And we talked about them maybe being a little undersized. Their quickness has got some advantages here in this first half. They're hanging in there, TK.
Yeah, they are. The Raiders need to be careful. They'll get in some foul trouble based on that quickness. They're starting to hit orange instead of playing straight up defense right now. So Houston trying to take advantage of that and see some time on the line.
Substitutions for the Raiders. And a couple guys on the bench on the floor for them now. There's Zane Chappie, Duke Counts, Hayden Quinter, Braden Mine, and Sam York, and that second free throw is missed. So Luke Ryan, uncharacteristically missing a couple there. Raiders with it now. Braden Mine's got up 16, need 18 to go. Down low, Hayden Quinter working on the block. A nice reverse by Quinter, and Hayden Quinter with a nice bucket there. He now has 6 in the ball game. His first points of this second quarter. Uchi up 18.
Nice pass there. Oh, just missed the bunny.
Vonnegut with a sophomore, just missing that one. Herrick's going to put one up the lane. Parker Herrick with a nice turnaround jumper in the lane. He's having a nice first half. He now has 9, and Quinter quickly answers that one. Hayden Quinter, he's got 8. High scoring affair here, 41-23 in this first half, much more so than last week. And Luke Beaver thought maybe he was going to get fouled there and missed what should have been a pretty easy layup, anticipating some contact from the Raiders and not able to connect on that. So with under 30 seconds of play, is she going to get the ball underneath their own basket? Jordan Meyer now going to enter the ball game for the Raiders, and Jude Counts will head to the bench. So Quinter with 23 seconds will inbound it for the Raiders. One more substitution. Xavier Balancy for now going to come into the ball game. Going to send Luke Beaver to the bench, perhaps for defensive reasons here. Quinter to inbound, gets it over to York in the corner. Hands it to his teammate. Quinter's going to dribble it back on top and set this up. Did this at the end of the first quarter. You hear the play here referred to as flat, maybe where the point guard goes one-on-one, but not the case here as Jordan Meyer's going to take a 3, and that ball's not coming down, TK.
Let's see if we get somebody to jump up there and get that one or not. We'll have to throw another basketball up there and hit it.
Hayden Quinter says, I can't jump that high, but give me a basketball and I'll take care of it. Actually, Sam York going to try to handle the task.
There we go.
got it on the second attempt. Not too bad.
Gotta have some versatility when you play in these gyms. Sometimes you have to do just about anything to keep the game going.
Well, it wasn't the case last week over at Fort Laramie. That gym is humongous, to say the least. And Parker Herrick inbound it with 6 seconds to go. Ryan with a nice behind-the-back pass. Balancing underneath, and a nice reverse by Xavier Balancing will end the first half. As the Russia Raiders leading the Houston Wildcats here after 2 quarters of play, 41-27 on our First National Bank scoreboard. TK and I will take a short break, come back with all your numbers at halftime. Stay tuned. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
It's halftime here at Russia Local Schools in the Claire Senevo Gymnasium for this Shelby County Athletic League battle between the visiting Houston Wildcats and the home team, the Russia Raiders. Our halftime score on the First National Bank scoreboard is Russia 41, Houston 25. Prior to this, we had a junior varsity contest, and if you missed that one, Russia beat Houston by the final of 50-19. Leading the way for the Raiders was 5'9" freshman Vince Borges with 14. It was 6'1" freshman Braylon Cadonier with 13 for the Wildcats. Their leader was 6'4" freshman Jake List with 5 points. Not sure if you got a chance to see our cheerleaders perform their halftime routine, but would like to recognize the Russia cheerleaders for the marvelous job they're doing for our fans and hopefully for you viewers as well. For Russia varsity cheerleaders are Jillian Chapman, Emma Daypour, Abby Fisher, McKenna Hoyne, Gracie McLennan, Anna Meyer, and Mackenzie Rose, also participating in that halftime routine with the junior varsity cheerleaders, and they are Samantha Bell, Alexandria Garkey, Brooklyn Klosterman, Callie Lloyd, Grace Monin, Ella Flippo, and Abby Sherman. Their longtime advisor is Brandy Flippo, and for the House of Wildcats doing a marvelous job as well. Their cheerleaders are Addie Froney, Anna Henry, Michaela Birch, Emma Duncan, Elizabeth Lowe, and Lexi Hamilton. And their junior varsity cheerleaders are Lydia Bales, Alicia Crawford, Callie Lentz, and Maya Lentz. Their cheer advisor is Kim Boizard. Now let's look at some halftime numbers here in the varsity contest, sponsored by Wagner's IGA. TK, you got them tallied up yet?
Yeah, I got a couple numbers here for us. On the Houston side, they're being led by Jake Lisk with 7 points and Patrick Herrick with 7 points. Key, as we talked about early in the second quarter, Houston working on improving the point percentage from the floor. Went from 3 for 16 to 7 from 17. And that's what's got them a little bit closer. They will still hold a commanding lead. The Wildcats are 1 for 3 from the free throw line. On the Raider side, they are led by Leighton Honor with 11 points. Zane Shappy's got 8. Nate Hunter has 8. And Xavier Flippo with 7. The Raiders were 6 for 8 from the free throw line, 75%. And from the floor, they were 6 for 14. Cooled off a little bit from that 10 for 19 in the first quarter, but still enough to maintain, as we said, a decent lead of 41-25 here.
All right, and all those game stats were sponsored by Wagner's IGA. We also want to remind our viewers not to miss our game wrap-up after tonight's contest is over, where TK and I will have our final stats, courtesy of Wagner's IGA, as well as our NKTelco player of the game. You want to stick around for that. Let's take a look at some other games going on tonight in the Shelby County Athletic League. Over in Anna, it's the 1-1 Rockets hosting their first league match of the season versus the 1-0 Botkins Trojans. And right now at halftime, it's Botkins leading Anna 17-16, so a good one there. TK, I was awful excited about that one. You got McCain Finkenbein for the Anna Rockets, who last Friday against New Knoxville had 32 points. And then they played a game against New Bremen, got beat on Saturday. And then you got the Trojans, of course, the defending state champions. They topped Jackson Center last week, a very low-scoring affair there, 34-24. Carter Plyman at 18 there. But it looks like we got a good one here at halftime.
Yeah, it looks like a defensive contest as much as anything with that score 17-16. A couple of games for the game for the Rockets last week was a high-scoring affair with New Bremen. It was 70-something to 56. Interesting to see how that one turns out.
Yeah, the Varsity Raiders, of course, will see the New Bremen Cardinals later this season. A game that will be on NKTelco. Awful excited about a very good New Bremen team over there, as well as the Varsity Raiders, much improved from last year. One other game from the Shelby County Athletic League that we're interested in, it's in Jackson Center, and it's the 0-1 Tigers, who got beat last week by Botkins. They're hosting the 0-1 Fort Lauderdale Redskins, who fell to these Raiders, and both those teams trying to get their first victory of the season. That game, like ours, is also right now currently being broadcast on NKTelco. And TK, the halftime score there is 20-15. Both teams are trying to get their first win.
Yeah, I think teams, when we look at last year, in the Shelby County League specifically, we had Botkins, obviously the state championship, Fort Lauderdale, Jackson Center, and very dominant at the top of the league, and then everybody else at the bottom is a little bit different this year, but all those three teams losing a good bit last year. Congratulations, so it's good to see what happens. Looks like Fort Lauderdale, Jackson Center, and the battle one out there over at the Habitat now.
If you're looking for something to do on Saturday night, there's a pretty good lineup of boys basketball games with 5 schools from the SCAL in action. Houston will be hosting Ansonia. Anna visits Indian Lake. Botkins will entertain Marion Local. Fairlawn takes a trip to Bradford. And finally, Fort Lauderdale will be home versus Knoxville. And TK, speaking of those two schools, Fort Lauderdale and New Knoxville, they played volleyball not too long ago here in the regional finals. And how about those New Knoxville Rangers winning their first girls state championship in school history?
Yeah, that was quite a story and quite a team. It's a great story, but also a team that obviously deserves to win a state championship. They played phenomenal volleyball down the line when it really counted. They had a couple losses in the MAC season to some tough teams and New Bremen and some others. But when it counted and it got down to the end, they played just phenomenal volleyball and really deserving to win a championship. A great story over there at New Knoxville.
I know a lot of folks rooting for the New Knoxville Rangers. Of course, they were playing a MAC opponent, the St. Henry Redskins, so no surprise to us, that's for sure. But since we're talking about girls sports, we have just a minute 18 to go until the second half gets underway. Just quickly run through those SCAL girls basketball standings. And right now on top, we got two teams, the Botkins Trojans and the Fort Lauderdale Redskins, both at 2-0 in the league. In third place is Houston and Rushi, both tied at 1-1 in the league. We got Anna at 0-1, Fairlawn at 0-1, Jackson Center at 0-2. And if you happen to be wondering, okay, Botkins, Laramie, both at 2-0. When might those teams meet? That'll be coming up soon enough. Next Thursday, Fort Lauderdale travels to Botkins. Those teams, we'll see how that all shakes out. But tomorrow, there are some 3 SCAL games coming up for girls basketball fans. Anna is at Fort Lauderdale. Jackson Center is at Houston. And the Varsity Raiders here, they travel to Fairlawn. So about 30 seconds from getting underway here in the second half. TK again our halftime score on the First National Bank scoreboard, 41-25. What does Houston need to do to get back into this here in the second half?
Obviously, they need to pick things up a little bit more on defense. They need to be able to hustle back. I think they maybe need a couple of times to go back on the shot because they're not getting the defense. They're not getting the offensive rebounds, which you kind of don't expect them. But then the Raiders are able to turn and run. Something Houston needs to slow down. And maybe even switch up that offense from man-to-man to zone just to try and keep the Raiders off balance a little bit. And on the offensive side, as they did in the second quarter there, a little more inside out, taking those shorter 10-foot, 12-foot shots instead of trying to get all the way to the bucket against the taller Rushy defense.
Rushy will control the ball here, starting out in the second half. On the floor for the Raiders, the starters, Xavier Flippo, Zane Shappy, Ben Bowman, Braden Mana now with the ball, as well as Xavier Flippo. For the Houston Wildcats, Parker Herrick. We got Luke Ryan, Ryan Ely, Jake List, and finally Luke Beaver, as Xavier Flippo is going to get fouled, heading to the basket. Xavier Flippo with a very good first half, 7 points, as TK said during our halftime report, sponsored by Wagner's IGA. Xavier Flippo heading back to the free throw line, where he was able to connect in that first half with 1. Coach Borchers now talking to a couple of his players, Zane Shappy and Braden Mon, quickly before Flippo takes his first free throw. On the other hand, Coach Mark Platt are talking to Luke Beaver on his side of the floor as Flippo misses the first one. Flippo had 10 points in that game last Friday, getting close to matching that with 7 in the first half. Flippo starting from his very first game of his freshman year as he connects on that second one. His first assignment, first game, had to guard the future SCAL Player of the Year, Aiden Reichert, as a junior. How about that for your first game as a freshman?
That's a tough assignment.
Wildcats for the ball now as Ryan's going to drive against Mon, and he gets locked up by Hayden Quinter, and we're going to get a jump ball on that one. So nice bit of defense there by the sophomore Quinter.
I think there was a spot where Ryan could have stopped and he pulled up or dished off. He tried to go in against 3 taller Rushy kids, and it didn't work out well.
Herrick inbounds it to Ryan. Ryan drives the lane, puts up a little floater off the glass. No good. Rebound Quinter. Raiders going to try to run. Quickly, Mana in the corner, taking a 3, and he hit 3 of those in the first half. Not able to connect that time, but Flippo with a rebound gives the Raiders another chance. Shappy driving lane, nice feed to Bowman. Bowman gets blocked by Jake List. Nice block there by the senior. Shot from Shappy's no good, but Bowman able to get the board and get the bucket and the foul. As we said, Bowman had a big first half last week. 8 points, 8 of his 10 came in the second half. Tonight, Ben, 3 in the first half, just 1 field goal and a free throw. He's going to head to the line here trying to get an old-fashioned three-point play. So Ben Bowman now with 6 in the ball game. Rushy up 45-26. As Luke Ryan calling the play out for the Wildcats. Rushy back in a man defense. List at the free throw line being guarded by Bowman. Nice matchup there. Parker Herrick's going to get it. Parker going to drive in the lane, puts one off the glass, and Parker Herrick, nice bucket there. He had 7 in the first half, tied for team high with Jake List. He gets a first field goal for the Wildcats here in the third quarter. He's going to try to do what Ben Bowman just did, get the bucket and the free throw, as Ben Bowman now heading to the bench for Coach Dave Borchers. Replacing him will be Jordan Meyer. Coach Dave Borchers in his 4th season has a career record of 35-39, trying to even that thing up here in the next several games, as Parker Herrick able to knock that one down. Winner now with it, gets stopped by Herrick. Herrick applying some pressure defense, finally gets to Shappy. Now Meyer with it, gets it back on top to Shappy. Rushy up 41-28. Monin going to drive in the lane, gets stopped, trying to find a teammate, and tries to get it as Flippo's cutting one way. Monin's throwing it the other direction, throws it right into his team's bench. Not where you want to have a turnover in front of your coach.
No, you don't. Especially miscommunication like that. There's things. But again, early in the season, we'll get this. The teams will get those things down. They'll get to reading each other a little bit better.
Beaver's going to drive, getting stopped by Meyer. Nice pass down low, but that's blocked by the Raiders. Ryan Ely tried to go up with a little floater off the block, and that got blocked by the Raiders.
Hayden Quinter tried to chip that again, but he'd already been out of bounds, so he established himself out of bounds without coming back in, so the ball stays with the Wildcats. And there's a nice move by Lease.
Yeah, not exactly squared up to the bucket there, but he got it to go down, and that's what matters. As Quinter quickly answers. He's done that a couple times here tonight. After the Wildcats get a bucket, Hayden Quinter able to come back down and answer very quickly. Quinter now in double figures with 10. He led these Raiders last year at 12.5 per game. Had just 4 last week. Again, I just mentioned it earlier, asked Coach Borchers if he was concerned about that, and not in the slightest. Substitution for the Wildcats, Xavier Balancey and Rusty Vonnegut will come into the game. Jake List and Luke Beaver will head to the bench. Richie with a 17-point lead here in the third quarter at the 5:36 mark. Braden Monin with the ball now, gets a screen from Meyer. Shappy going to drive into the lane. Nice feed down low to Jordan Meyer. And Jordan Meyer with 2. He had 2 last week, 2 here tonight.
There's some good work with the offense right there. Keep passing and cutting. Overplay on defense by Wildcats, and just a nice little dump for the easy layup.
Parker Herrick with a layup. Speaking of layups, yeah, what Coach Borcher say, talked about sharing the ball rather than Shappy going up for the shot there and trying to get the foul, gets the easy bucket. And once again, Hayden Quinter answering again. Quinter now at 12. And every time these Wildcats try to mount some kind of charge, the Raiders just answer. Got to be frustrating. As Herrick's going to take a long 3. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound Quinter. Herrick playing some immediate defense. And another nice pass from Shappy to his classmate and teammate, Xavier Flippo. With that, it's like Coach Mark Plattfoot is going to want a precision strip timeout. We'll take one with him. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Park National Bank, Cargill, St. Henry Bank, Chiltex LLC, Speedway Lanes.
I want to remind our viewers that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503 on Wednesday, December 8th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 11th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So after the precision strip timeout, the Houston Wildcats with the ball as Xavier Ballensiefer getting ready to inbound it. Mentioned Coach Borcher's in his 4th season. Coach Mark Plattfoot in his 5th season started just a year prior to Coach Borcher's. And as a quick turnover by the Wildcats out of the timeouts, not what Coach Mark Plattfoot wanted to see. Winner with it now gets to Shappy. Shappy thought about a long 3, decides to dribble towards the lane and trying to find Meyer where he found him earlier. This time not able to connect with the senior Meyer. Substitutions for the Wildcats. Jake List back in the ballgame, as well as Luke Beaver, Rusty Vonnegut, and Xavier Ballensiefer heading back to the bench.
Great idea there for Zane Shappy with the defense overplaying and Meyer streaking to the bucket, just couldn't make the connection, but with the right idea in that situation.
Also in the ballgame now for Rushi Ross Fissinger. A turnover there by the Wildcats. Shappy's going to get fouled on his way to the bucket. That's going to go against Ryan Ely. For Ely, that will be his first foul.
I'm not sure Shappy knew he was back there. He took that layup a little bit easier than he probably should have. Maybe he should have gone left-handed and come around that, but again, don't think he knew Ely was right there behind him.
Zane Shappy able to connect from the free throw line, I believe 4 times in that first half. On his way to 8 points. He gets another free throw to make it 9. Substitution, Hayden Quinter on the bench, Patrick Bowman in the ballgame.
He's 5 for 5 right now, Craig, from the free throw line.
Well, I know Zane Shappy, a former cross-country runner, didn't run cross-country this past fall. Worked a lot on his basketball game over the fall. It's shown here tonight.
Well, there are a few kids that can do it, but not too many a full cross-country season is pretty tough on the body, and then to come back and play a physical basketball game is hard to do.
Well, Braden Monin, one of those cross-country runners, able to advance the state as an individual this year, and talking to his dad a little bit after the season was over, and you talk about cross-country runner being in shape. He says, Dad, I'm not in basketball shape. He said different muscles. And a long three from Luke Beaver off the front of the rim, no good. A rebound, Zane Shappy. Raiders quickly down the floor. Shappy running the break, gets to Bowman. Bowman, a nice layup. You're not going to get in the way of Ben Bowman on his way to the bucket.
Not on that one.
Bowman having a big third quarter here, just like he kind of did last week. Now with 8 points in the game, he's got 5 here in this third quarter. As Ryan gets it over to his teammate Ely. Ely stop, gets it out to List. List going to drive against Bowman, kicks it out to his teammate. Shot short by the Wildcats. Get the rebound, put it up again. A nice bucket there by Ryan Ely. He now has 4. 57-34 on our first National Bank score, but Shappy's going to put one up, get the bucket, and head back to the free throw line where he's 6 for 6. So Zane Shappy having a whale of a night.
We know I've got him to 12 points on the night. That's 2 Raiders in double digits already. 3 Raiders in double digits with Hayden Quinter and Braden Monin.
Substitutions once again. Rusty Vonnehuvel and Xavier Balancey are back in the ball game as Jake List will head to the bench as well as Ryan Ely. See if I can jinx Zane Shappy as he's a perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Makes that bucket as Braden Monin now in the ball game for the Russia Raiders. Zane Shappy will head to the bench after having 5 points in this third quarter. Walking up the floor is Luke Beaver for the Wildcats. Gets to Balancey for working against Bowman. Herrick's now going to drive baseline against Patrick Bowman. Puts it up off the glass. Parker Herrick having a nice game. He's starting to get into things here. He is going to head to the free throw line for a couple shots.
He's got 12 on the night. Right now only Wildcat in double digits, followed by List at 9.
Parker Herrick knocks down that first free throw. For the Raiders, Hayden Quinter will come in the game for Jordan Meyer. Got a chance to watch Parker Herrick on the golf course this past fall, talking about the fall sport of cross country. Parker Herrick, a very nice golfer for the Wildcats. And he'll be one that comes back next year, just a junior. He misses a free throw on that attempt as Bowman gets the rebound. She up 25 points. Fissinger gets in the corner. He's going to shoot the 3. Rattles around, no good. Rebound though, Raiders. And Braden Monin gets the board and ball knocked around out of bounds. It's going to go to the Wildcats.
A nice hustle there still by all those players. Diving on the floor for that free ball. That's what you want to see from both coaches. Really go after that ball. Don't just watch it roll around and try and pick it up.
Ryan working down the lane, gets it up off the glass, and Luke Ryan with a bucket. He has 5 in the game. Patrick Bowman now with it for the Raiders. Nice cross-court pass to Hayden Quinter. He's going to drive against Luke Beaver. Turnaround jumper by, he's no good. Rebound Fissinger. He's working against Herrick. Gets tied up, and they're going to get a jump ball on that one. Possession arrow is going to point to Russia, so they'll get it underneath their own basket. Winter finding Fissinger cutting to the basket. He's going to get partially blocked. And Herrick with it now for the Wildcats. He's going to put a shot. Nice block by Ben Bowman. He's able to save it to his teammate Braden Monin. Monin gets past Herrick. Herrick hustles back trying to play defense. Finds Bowman in the lane. Puts it up over Balancey for a nice turnaround there by Ben Bowman. Ben Bowman with 7 points in the third quarter. Having a very good quarter here, TK.
Yeah, I'm impressed. That was a nice soft touch for the big guy going down in there. Expecting to have some contact, he did, but able still to put up that nice little soft loop hook shot there and get the bucket.
Raiders with it now. Patrick Bowman going to take a 3, and that's off the mark as Luke Ryan gets the rebound. Quickly up the floor for the Wildcats. Gets it to Beaver. Beaver gets past Patrick Bowman, stopped by Ben Bowman, and a shot by Rusty Vonnehuvel was too hard, going to go out of bounds, but the Wildcats will keep it. Stay tuned for our post-game report here tonight, sponsored by Wagner's IGA. TK and I will have the final numbers. They're just in the third quarter right now, but don't miss that. Also, our NKTelco player of the game. Ball is going to stay with the Wildcats as Parker Hare trying to get it in bounds. She up 23 points at the moment. The Wildcats are able to score. We've seen it here in spurts. And if Russia happens to get cold, the Wildcats can get right back in this ball game. And this time, Hayden Quinter is going to pick up a foul on Rusty Vonnehuvel. Rusty Vonnehuvel, the youngest guy on this team, the only sophomore, six seniors on this squad for Coach Mark Plattfoot, 3 juniors, and the sophomore. So Rusty Vonnehuvel played earlier in the JV game, heading to the free throw line, trying to make his first bucket of the ball game. And he nails that free throw. Fissinger will head to the bench. Replacing him will be Xavier Flippo. Also substitution as Luke Beaver will head to the bench. On the floor for the Wildcats, along with Luke Ryan, Ryan Ely, Parker Hare, Xavier Balanceefer, and Rusty Vonnehuvel at the free throw line. Vonnehuvel's second shot's on the way off the back rim, no good. Nice rebound by Sam York, who's also in the ball game for Russia. Mentioned this last week, TK, but rumors from the Russia weight room were that Sam York threw up more iron than anybody in the preseason. Strongest guy on the team.
I can believe that.
Although I was told he's challenged by Ben Bowman. Ben could squat more. On the bench, though, it was all Sam York.
After a summer of lifting big old hay bales and working on the farm, that's not hard to believe for either of those two men.
Braden Mon with it now in the lane, kicks it back out to his teammate. Quinter's going to take a three. He can make those. This one he misses, but nice rebound there by York. His stick back's no good. Gets his own rebound, gets it out. Patrick Bowman with it now. Going to find it Flippo in the corner. Monin's going to drive. We talked about Flippo guarding that as Braden Monin gets a nice layup for Russia. At Flippo being guarding Aiden Reichert his freshman year, Flippo kind of went from being more of a post player to we see him as a guard now. He's able to bang down underneath, but he's also able to hit that three. And kind of, I think, transition to more of a guard.
We talked about how tall the Raiders are, but they are versatile in, as you said, Xavier Flippo can come out. Hayden Quinter at 6'2" is listed as a guard from the get-go and plays that guard position very well even with his size.
Final seconds ticking down in this third quarter. Russia the 64-38 lead. Wildcats with the ball now. Parker Hare working against Patrick Bowman. He's going to try to drive as Quinter able to get his hand on that one. Ball loose on the ground. Going to get a whistle and it's going to be a travel on the Wildcats. Parker Hare rolling around trying to save that ball. So with 4.1 to go, Russia to inbound at the length of the court to go. Xavier Flippo will throw the inbounds. Russia running a set play, gets it over to Shappy. Shappy loses control of the ball, and Vonnehuvel now with it throws it at the horn. That's going to be too high, and that will do it for our third quarter of play. So on the First National Bank scoreboard, Russia leading Housing 64-38. Take a short break and come back. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
I'd like to thank tonight's 5-star recruitment sponsors, and that is Crown Equipment Corporation, as well as our MVP sponsors being Clopay and Nedick Minster. Tonight's Russia game sponsor is the Jewelry Barn. Also want to remind our viewers to follow WCSM AM 1350 96.7 FM, and their internet exclusive games on WCSMradio.com all season. Your sports leader in Mercer and Auglaize County. And up on the First National Bank scoreboard, Russia leading 64-38 after 3 quarters of play. Houston going to start out this fourth quarter with the ball now. Ryan Ely on the floor for the Wildcats as well. Jake List, Parker Herrick, Rusty Vonnehuvel, and Luke Beaver. So Ely working against Shappy. Picks up his dribble, looking for a teammate, finds Vonnehuvel. He puts a floater in the lane, that bounced around, no good. Quinter with it, quickly up the floor to Shappy. Shappy finds York cutting to the bucket, but can't control the pass.
Good idea, trying to get the man in the middle, but just couldn't make that connection.
Jake List now working against York. In the corner with a Beaver. He's going to drive, trying to put something up. And that shot's no good, but he'll head to the free throw line as Raiders going to get the foul on that one. It looks like that's going to go on Sam York. It is. That's his second foul. TK, fourth quarter, and you're down 64-38. Wildcats got to come up with some answers really quick. They want to get the victory here, or just to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, find some way to try and slow down the Raiders. As you mentioned, every time the Wildcats seem to make a little bit of a start, the Raiders would run a fast break, and Hayden Quinter would be on the other end hitting the layup. So they've got to do something about that.
Luke Beaver not able to make either of those free throws. As Meyer with it, he's going to take a three for the Raiders. That's long. Rebound goes to Ely. Ely dribbles into a little Raider traffic. List with it now. Over to Beaver. Beaver's going to drive baseline. Nice defense there by Zane Shappy. His shot off the glass is no good. Shappy with the rebound. Up the floor for the Raiders. Across the timeline. Tries to get it to Quinter. That ball tipped by Jake List. Actually, it looks like maybe Shappy got his hands on it last because the official's going to say Wildcat ball.
In that last offensive series, the Wildcats penetrated and tried to get that little jumper, but it just wouldn't fall. So that you get to them, you got to make them. And that's been the difference right now.
Really working at the point position. Gets it to Herrick. Parker Herrick with a big third quarter for the Wildcats. Had 6 points. That shot off the glass is no good. Raiders with it now. Shappy driving up the lane. A nice cutting offensive play there by Zane Shappy. Zane Shappy having a very good game. He now has 15 for the Raiders.
I think this is where the depth of the Raiders offense, or the whole bench, is going to start to wear on the Wildcats. They're running about the same 6-7 people, and the Raiders are running 8 or 9.
Turnover there by the Wildcats. Shappy with it once again. Counts is going to take the three, and that's off the glass. No good. Ball knocked around. Tie up. I think we're going to get a jump ball. Indeed we will. Tomorrow night, these Houston Wildcats will host Ansonia at home in a non-league matchup. Talking to Coach Mark Plattford a little bit about that before the game tonight. He said, let's worry about tonight first. As Shappy's going to get another bucket. Zane Shappy 4, Wildcats nothing here in this fourth quarter. Actually expanding that lead once again, trying to bump it up to 30. As Jake List now going to drive, gets in the lane, a nice shot up and over Shappy, but not able to get it to go down. Shappy with the ball once again. Zane Shappy, a guy that took over this point guard position early in his freshman year, came up about 2-3 games into his freshman season as Counts ball's no good, gets his own board, puts it up, and Jude Counts now in the scorebook as the 6-foot sophomore gets a field goal. But talking to Coach Borchers about that, what a luxury to have a 3-year point guard, and he's not even finished yet, so he's just a junior.
You mentioned what the Wildcats need to do is try and get second shots. The Raiders have just been dominating the board. There's no second shots anywhere out there, and that's where the height's going to really help you from the Raiders standpoint.
Substitutions of Hayden Quinter and Jordan Meyer on the bench, as well as Luke Ryan headed to the bench for the Wildcats. On the floor for the Wildcats, along with Luke Beaver, you got Ryan Ely, Jake List, Parker Herrick, and Rusty Vonnehuvel. For the Raiders, Xavier Flippo, Braden Mon, and Ben Bowman, Jude Counts, and Zane Shappy. Vonnehuvel gets the bucket up. We have an inadvertent buzzer here, and they're going to count the basket. easy to do with a score like this, TK. Not too much argument from Coach Borchers. He is looking for an explanation, though, at the scorer's table.
Coach, you put that one in.
Well, when you find out, you can let me know.
Check the scores.
And Zane Chappie going to bring it up for the Raiders. Rushy with a 30-point lead. Mon with it.
Bowman who will look at the bucket.
For Rusty Bonner, who would be his first points of the game after missing a couple free throws. List with it now. Nice spin dribble in the lane. Nice bit of work there by Jake List. So he brought the ball up into the lane, did a spin dribble, got it off the glass, and gets the foul. And Jake List, he now has 11 points. Coach Mark Plattfoot said he needed a big night out of Jake List. He did exceed last Friday's 7 points that he had in that loss to Fairlawn. Not going to be big enough for tonight, but Jake List making some small improvements. Jake List gets that free throw to go down, so he gets the old-fashioned three-point play. Braden Monin bringing it up, getting guarded by Parker Herrick. Bowman with it, kicks it out to Patrick Bowman. As we said, Patrick Bowman playing his first season of high school basketball as a senior. As a long three from Braden Monin gets that to go down. That is his fourth three of this ball game. And for Braden Monin, he now has 16 points.
What a nice night there for the sophomore.
Went from being one of the first guys off the bench last season as a freshman to all of a sudden starting this year. Talked to Coach Borchers about that. Very comfortable with him in that spot. Does a nice job. Monin with it now. Gets it out to Patrick Bowman. Patrick Bowman going to take a three. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound, Luke Beaver. Beaver now going to drive in the lane, put one up off the glass. That's no good. Knocks it out, kicks it out to Jake List. But he's going to try to go in the lane, loses his dribble. Braden Monin picks it up. He's going to try to run the court. And counts with it now to Patrick Bowman's going to hit the out-of-bounds line. Going to go possession of the Wildcats. Now entering the ball game for the first time will be Braylon Cadonier, seeing his first varsity action. Braylon, one of the high scorers in that JV game earlier, had 13 points, a 6'1 freshman. On the floor also, Ross Fissinger back in the game, as well as Jordan Meyer out there with Patrick Bowman and Braden Monin. Parker Herrick now going to take a three for the Wildcats. Part of the game where you just start to let it fly, TK. 3 minutes to go in a 30-point game. Patrick Bowman going to take a three of his own. That's going to go in. So Patrick Bowman scoring his first points of the season. This one from behind the arc, his first points of his high school career.
That's where you start out there with a nice three-pointer.
Shot thrown up by Parker Herrick. Probably not what Coach Mark Plattfoot wants to see, but with under 3 minutes to go and a 33-point deficit, Coach Plattfoot not going to say much, as Cadonier is going to take a three, and Braylon Cadonier hits the three ball. He quickly starts out his high school career in the scorebook. Had a few of those in that junior varsity game. And for a 6'1 freshman, you expect him maybe to play more in the post at the lower levels, but he's a very good shooter. Nice steal there by Fissinger. Gets it over to Braden Monin. In the corner, Meyer's going to take a three. Off the rim, no good. A rebound, Monin to Bowman. Bowman's going to take another three, and Patrick Bowman all of a sudden is getting hot for the Raiders. So Bowman just hit one a little bit ago. He puts his second three in about the last 30 seconds. Patrick Bowman with 6, and with 2 minutes to go, Rushy up 82-43. Got to think this will be one of the higher scores the Raiders might put up this season. Not many times you get to 80. Whistle on a foul.
I was about to say, when you talk about things going to start flying, that's when you hurt the shooting percentage, but the Raiders are not hurting their shooting percentage as they come in here off the bench and hit 3 threes between Patrick Bowman and Jalen Cadano.
Both coaches starting to empty their benches now with 1:32 to play. And for the Raiders now, some of the more junior varsity players we saw a little earlier on the floor. Colby Monin, number 50, a junior, as well as Michael Bell, number 41, also a junior. He's out there with senior Sam York, number 32, freshman Braylon Cadina, number 24, and Patrick Bowman still on the floor after a couple threes, number 11 for the Raiders. The free throw line, Ryan Ely, that ball is no good. Free throw attempt. So the final minute will tick off the clock here as Raiders will turn it over, and Rusty Vonnie, he will run the break for the Wildcats, gets a pass to his teammate as air ball there by Ryan Ely. Cadina brings it up to Michael Bell. Everybody trying to get in the scorebook here the last 45 seconds. Bell's shot's no good, gets his own board, puts it up again. That one's no good, ball knocked around. Rebound, Ryan Ely. And Luke Ryan with 34 seconds will get it up to balance. He's trying to work down low to Vaughn here. Nice bit of passing there by the Wildcats. And ball's high off the arc and no good. Stick around for a post-game report sponsored by Wagner's IGA. Again, TK and I will have all the stats from tonight, as well as our NKTelco player of the game. Don't miss it. We'll wrap it all up for you here in about 10 seconds. So Raiders going to hold the ball here for the final seconds of this game, and they're going to record an 82-43 victory. Again, TK and I will come back with all your final stats. Stay tuned. You're listening to high school basketball here on NKTelco.
Winners Meats. Quality meats for 4 generations. Hoagie Lumber. Hilsman Automotive.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? Nidec Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. Nidec is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at Nidec Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with Nidec.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Allglaze and Sydney Audiology are committed to providing the most advanced and affordable hearing care solutions.
Did you know that more and more insurances are offering coverage for hearing aids and that we are the most comprehensive provider in the area?
Because we want to serve all in our community, we partner with agencies such as Medicaid, OOD, Sertoma, and most recently the VA, helping our veterans find local solutions to their problems.
Don't leave unused benefits on the table this year. Call us today to see if you qualify.
It's a final here at Russia Local School where the Russia Raiders defeated the Houston Wildcats tonight by the score of 82-43 on our First National Bank scoreboard. While TK is tabulating these final stats, I want to remind our viewers that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or HD on Channel 503. Those replays of tonight's game will be on Wednesday, December 8th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 11th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and NKTelcosports.com/sports. Also like to thank our 5-star recruitment sponsors here tonight, Crown Equipment Corporation, as well as our MVP sponsors, Clopay and Nidec Minster. Our keys to the game in the pregame were courtesy of Keyhole Pizza, and the starting lineups were courtesy of Sydney Allglaze Audiology. All of our timeouts tonight sponsored by Precision Script. TK, what do you got here for the Russia Raiders and the Houston Wildcats as far as our final numbers go?
Well, the Wildcats coming up obviously a little bit short tonight. We'll look at some of the bigger numbers. On from the free throw line, ended up they were 5 for 11. So a little bit under 50%. Need to be a little bit better than that. Obviously, you want to be 70, 80% or more. From the field, the Raiders good defense and even better rebounding. Kept them at 17 for 67 shooting from the field. So really held the things down. Leading the Wildcats with 11 points was Jake Lease. Had a couple other people with double digits. And Parker Herrick with 13. So not as much spreading the offense around as coach had hoped, but did get the game out of Lease that he wanted in that 11, and a nice game out of Herrick in 13. On the Raiders side, much improved on the foul line side. They were 11 for 15. We talked about that coming into the game, 29% against Fort Lauderdale the first night, so greatly improved there. Another big point for the Raiders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double-digit scoring lane, led by Zane Shappy with 17 and Braden Monin with 16. And the Raiders with some really nice points, shooting well over 40%, almost 50% from the floor for the evening. So a really good game overall, and as the coach wanted on his side from the Raiders, sharing that ball. Again, 5 kids, double digits, can't share it much better than that.
All right, and all those game stats were sponsored by Wagner's IGA. Now it's time for our NKTelco Player of the Game. TK, if you had to pick one from the Russia Raiders, who are you going to pick?
Kind of a toss-up to some extent right now between Braden Monin. He had a heck of a game with some threes to really spur on the Raiders. But I think Zane Shappy really led things as the fact that he went 7 for 7 from the free throw line, scored consistently throughout every quarter, 2, 8, 12, 17 points for the end there. So I have to lean towards the junior guard, Zane Shappy, for the player of the game.
All right, our NKTelco Player of the Game does go to Zane Shappy. And we talked about some other games in the area. Just real quickly here to catch up on that. Looks like the Fort Lauderdale Redskins pulled out a 39-36 victory over the Jackson Center Tigers. So Laramie now at 1-1 as Jackson will drop to 0-2. And that big game we were talking about between Botkins and Anna, the last update we had was Trojans 48, the Rockets 32. So see how that one ends up finishing up. But Russia will improve to 2-0, and they'll look forward to their next matchup, playing again a week from now, next Friday, with a road trip to Fairlawn. For Houston, they'll drop to 0-2. They'll get a chance to get their first win right away tomorrow night with a home game hosting the Ansonia Tigers. That will officially wrap it up for us here for a final time. Russia defeats Houston by the score of 82-43. We hope you enjoyed NKTelco's broadcast of high school boys basketball. Thanks for tuning in. And from the Claire Cinevo Gymnasium, I'm Craig Fissinger. For my broadcast partner, Tim Kern, saying good night, everyone.